Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, this is a Let's Build video. What a Let's Build video is about, I take a model kit and I show you how to put it together. Now, why do I do this? Some people struggle with instructions. Some people, or, you know, not just anyone, but you can open a model kit and look at it and go, wow, that's a bit too much. It looks very confusing and complicated. This is a visual aid to help you guys out. Or if you're interested in a new army, but you're not sure how the models go together, or if they're going to be easy to build, or is it worth your time and effort? Again, you can see these models and go, okay, I'm pretty straightforward. For all my regulars, and there's one other thing with the bit less builds, if I come across a mistake on the sprue, I'll let you guys know. If there's any parts that are difficult to clean or difficult to snip off, I'll let you guys know. So it gives you a really good heads up. But for all my regulars, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second, guys. What am I building today? Well, I've got some Death Guard bits and I want to start building them. So we're going to go with this Myphitic Blight hauler. Apparently, this is easy to build, push fit, no glue, and that's the only tools you need is the clippers. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to take the sprue out and we're going to have a look at it and go through normal detail we go through. Now, before we look at the stat lines or the sprue, tools needed as usual. Clippers, okay. It's a hobby. It's a mold line scraper. You can use a hobby knife or a surgical scalpel, doesn't matter. Plastic glue, and I have super glue just because. Now, before any further, some will say, "Hold a minute, something's changed." Yep, I've sort of changed this whole section around. This the big new desk. So I'm still not sure the setup or the lighting or anything like that. So, you know, hopefully over the next few videos I'll get the lighting right and the desk set up perfect as well. So just bear with me. Right, let's have a look at the stat line. There's the stat line. Movement 10, that's pretty good. It's freeze to hit in close combat, freeze to hit with ranged weapon. Strength 6, toughness 7, 9 wounds, 4 attacks in close combat, leadership 8, and a 3-up armor save. So that's actually pretty good. Now he's armed with loads of different weapons here. He's got some sort of thing in his mouth, which has got a pretty good 12-inch range, D3 shots. I think that means assault. Someone let me know if I'm wrong. Strength 6, -1 AP means nothing to Space Marines or power armored opponents, but it's damage 1, so it's not that great, but it's one weapon. Second weapon is a missile launcher. I can tell that by the profile. One's a frag missile, one's a crack missile, but pretty good. Crack missiles does D6 damage, so it's pretty good. Again, crack missiles -2 AP, that'd be -1 to, you know, because of armor or contempt of any Space Marines or power armored foes. Number 3, I think it's a multi-melter, I think it is, but it looks like it. 24-inch range, just blast 2. Strength 8, -4 AP, which is a bit more tastier, does D6 damage per 1. So he gets 2 shots, but it's blast. I can't remember what blast does now. I think if you're shooting something that has more than 10 models, blast does more damage, something like that. There's more hits, something like that. And 4 is his little teeth, which is melee. His strength is the same as the user, so it's going to be strength 6, -2 AP, doesn't mean nothing, armor contempt, and 1 damage. So, before we start putting that together, let's have a look at the sprue. Now, looking at this is very simple. I can look at this already and see where it's going. There's a body part, there's another body part, there's the tracks, there's the front of it, that looks like the back of it, or the side bits, sorry, where the guns go. But this little piece, rocket pod there, there's some more tracks there. Don't know what they're for. It was probably for underneath the mouth, I would say. There's a metal gun, and there's these lovely pieces. So, first thing that we're going to need is So you can't, the setup's not right for me right here. The way I've got it set up now, it's not quite right, because I usually don't have the instructions on camera. Okay, so we need 1 and 2. So 1 and 2. 2 is that little track, yeah. And number 1 is, should be the side piece. Where am I looking? Come on, yeah, no. Right, that's number 1. Okay, number 1, number 2. So I'm going to clip them off, clean them down, and we'll see how they go together. I sort of booted that up. I pushed it in to see where it goes, and it won't come out. And I don't want to pull it too much because this part will break. But I haven't even cleaned it down yet. You can see there's still a little tag from the sprue on there. But yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. It just pushes in there with this little pin sticking at the bottom. Very straightforward. So I'm going to take some, there's one thing I forgot to say, sanding sponge. You've got none in hand, I can get some. Sanding sponge is a sponge with sandpaper either side of it. I'm going to grab some of that because I've obviously moved it to one place. I'm going to give this a clean down to make sure there's no casting lines, but I don't see any casting lines. There's a few little bits along there, but it's not too much trouble. Anyway, back in a second, guys. Right, that's so easy. This is sanding sponge, for anyone that's, see I've massacred it there, because I can't find my normal standing blade to cut it, so it's because the places that mess at the moment I'm just trying to organise. And I've adjusted the light a little bit, you know, I think this is a little bit better, I'm not sure. Still just trial and error with this at the moment, but anyway, this is the next piece that we need. So I'm going to cut this off, clean it. There's not much to clean, there's very little mould lines, it's more sprue bits. I'm going to cut it, clean it, and then come back and show you where it goes. Right, literally, it goes on like that. Yeah. I'm not going to push it in yet, but this piece goes into that hole there. Now, you're not meant to use super glue, but I'm going to use super glue because I want it to seal the join lines. I want to get rid of all that, so I'm going to put some glue in each of these holes. But as you see, the two mouths, they have to line up. Yeah, so it goes, literally goes on like that. It's the simplest build so far. I'll tell you what, you have to squeeze it together. Now, what I think is, some of the pins inside there, you'd have to snip down a little bit, because as you're pushing it together, the air that's trapped in there is pushing it back out. Okay, so it's not, it does go together, it's just pushing out a little bit. So you might have to just, that's my advice to do. The pins that are in there, snip them down a little bit so there's not as much pressure going into it. Like when you push the pin in, it's not just full of air and you're pushing the pin in and it just pushes it back out. I was told that about the Hellbrute as well, to be careful of that on the Hellbrute. And that's probably what it is. So anyway, there's that. Now what we need is number 5 and number 6. Well, there's number 5 and there's number 6. So 5 and 6 go together, and then 7 and 8 go together. Okay, so I'm going to snip these two off first, clean these down, and show you how they go. I apologise about the rain in the background there. So this track here, yeah, this is number 6. This track here, you've got pin at the bottom, pin at the top. Yeah. On the other side, you see the difference. Yeah, so that's the inside piece. Now, this devious thing has one pin that side and a hole that side. There's a pin that side, focus in, there's a pin that side and a hole up there. So that literally just slots in there like that. Okay, I'm not going to push it in because I want to put a bit of glue onto it. And the other one is exactly the same, but the opposite way around. Okay, so I'm going to glue this one in, take the other two off and clean them together, and then show you, just quickly show you them. Sorry, my mistake, I was looking at it wrong. The pin actually goes in this hole here. Okay, let me show you on the other one. The pin goes in that hole there, and then there's the other one there. Okay, so that's how that goes. Now, little bits like that I've missed on top, that's not a big issue because I can come back to it afterwards give it a gentle snip out. And if I need to give it a sand down, when it's all dry, I can give it a little sand down. But what I'm going to do is snip these two off, clean them down and put them together as well. Just to clarify, it goes in there like that. Okay, so that one goes in that hole there, that one connects in there. So I'm going to drop some glue in it, I'm going to put it together. Actually, you missed something. Number 4, which is this piece. I'm going to snip it off and I'll show you where it goes. I thought there was something missing because I just couldn't figure out how these went on. Right, so this middle piece goes into that pole there. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is this is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm actually going to snip this down a bit. Like halfway. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to chuck some glue into it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to switch to super glue quick. Right. Because I think that plastic glue is almost empty. I'm going to hold whatever's left in there for the join lines, just get rid of the join lines. I'll whack some glue on that. And that literally just to do it the right way. Yeah, it looks like I have. So it goes in there like that. Okay. That appears to be right. Yeah. Right, now these should fit in. Nope, I don't know. Give me a minute. Right, I just boo-booed that up. I put it on this side. Yeah. It's meant to go that side. Okay, it's meant to go on that side there. So then the tracks would sit in. Make sure I get this right before I... Nope, nope, nope. Give me a minute. Right. They do go in with the inside part, like that. Okay. It just looks very weird to me. Up like that. Then when it goes into the base, it's going to look right. So I'm going to super glue that in. I'll come back to you then, guys. Right, what we need next is these two bad boys, and they just literally go together. It's just simple as that. So I'm going to snip those two off and clean those down. As the next one we need is number 11, which is a missile pod, and number 12. So I'm going to snip these off, clean these down, and we'll come back and see how they go together. One thing I keep forgetting to say to you guys, all of these pins, yeah, they're meant to stay on there. Now, if you do get to a point where it won't go in, then you can just snip a bit off. Yeah, that's just with the air in there, it's just stop it from entering. So this one goes in there. Okay, I'm not going to push it in, but it goes into the pin, goes in the hole. The multi-melter does the same thing. Which way around is it? This way around. Yeah, to the pipes at the bottom there, or at the bottom. To the top little V, sorry, the top little V there sits on top of that. Yeah. So I'm going to glue those in, and we'll come back to the last final piece. Here's what I'm talking about. Yes, I have to push and hold that so it glues in. But I won't, I'll leave it dry, and then I'll put some plastic glue in just along the join there. Just seal that in. But so, this one should be fine. Should be straight in. Not an issue. You could snip a little tiny bit off the top there. Then the next thing to do, this top hole glues into this top piece here, yeah, and then all these little pins that are on the tyres and everything else glue into the base. So I'm going to glue those two bits together, glue them into the base, and then we'll come back for the final piece. Right, these pins are very difficult to get in. As you can see, look, it comes straight through. Yeah, it doesn't affect the way it sits on the table. but just I snipped this one off because it was just a pain in the ass to get in. So let's just, I can't myself in super glue. Let's just glue to the base there. Okay, because when I gravel it, you're not going to see that anyway. Now this final piece, the only piece left on the sprue, so I snipped it off. You got a pin on the track, that's where that goes. Now because I started working away the wrong way round, trying to glue the tracks onto here, that's why that piece is missing. But there was a pin there, but that pin goes in the middle one here. And you got this big pin here that goes just in there. So I'm going to wax some super glue on it. Wax some super glue in there, and we're going to go for it. Nice and easy. That's handy on the brush, so handy. It literally just goes. Now it wants to be difficult. I just dry fitted and it went in perfect. The moment I went off camera, click, straight in. There we go. Now there's a few little bits that I just in there that I will run over with some plastic glue afterwards. But I think this is actually almost empty. I think it is. I think that plastic glue is almost empty. So it's done me well. It's done a lot of models. But I've got a new one over there, so I'll pop that open and just in gaps like that, just run a bit of plastic glue into, and just looking for things like that. Just run some plastic glue down that joint and seal that up. But I'm actually very pleased with that, which is ironic because with such a simple build, I think I made a 3-course meal of it. Give me a Void Dragon, give me the Illuminar, give me Abaddon the Spoiler. Give me this guy and I'll start making mistakes. But anyway, that's that guy. I'm going to bring down, show some pretty pictures. Thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully the lighting is okay, or I'll figure out what I'm doing wrong here and get it right. I'm not 100% sure on it yet because I haven't looked at the playback. But if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it helps the channel in a massive way. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss any videos, because my regulars will know, and they're probably looking at this video going, holy smokes, there's a lot of things in the vote now to vote on. What are we going to vote on? There's so much there. So yeah, well, there is a lot of things here now. But anyway, hit the buttons for me. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take it easy, guys.